Just a quick legal disclaimer, I did receive this as a review sample with the only expectation that I make a video on it. And this is the Silverstone SharkForce 140, and it's a performance enhanced 140mm PWM fan. And there's a couple things it comes with in the packaging. Let's see, your warranty information, your modular power cable, and some screws. And this fan has a unique pattern on it that matches the hydrodynamic properties of shark skin, and it helps to improve airflow and efficiency while reducing the noise. And you'll notice on the front of the fan blades the texture is raised, on the back it's kind of sunken in. And this does have some built-in rubber shock mounts to reduce vibration noise, which is nice. I was conflicted at first about the modular cable because I thought this was something connector-wise that was going to be unique and hard to replace. But this connector ends up being pretty standard, so that's kind of cool. So the 4-pin connector that this fan uses is the same connector you see on a 4-pin fan for a GPU. And you can buy other cables with this connector, so that is nice if you want to do modding. So I guess I'll just show here. This connector will plug into this fan. Get a little bit more slack and a few more hands. Yeah, the orientation right. Alright. I'm gonna switch hands. I'm left-handed, so I think that's half my problem. Also help if... There we go. So as you can see, this wouldn't do anything, but the connector is the same style connector. And vice versa, if I wanted to plug this into here, it fits, although wouldn't be very useful. I guess actually with this adapter the way it is, you could actually use this fan to cool the GPU and plug it in like that, which is actually kind of a funny thought. It might draw more power than your GPU would support though. But that is a cool unadvertised feature. But anyways, kind of back on topic here. This is a high performance fan. It is rated for up to 4mm H2O for the static pressure and 120 CFM. This would be comparable to the Noctua 140mm industrial fan, but unlike the Noctua industrial fan, this has the modular connector and can be daisy chained. And normally I'd be against that, but this connector is pretty standard, so it would make modding pretty easy. And I believe, spacing wise, if you want to tie two of these together, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's doable. I am noticing that the connector is a little tricky to get plugged in due to the space you're working with. And these do have knockouts for, can we focus on something, please? For RGB, if you get the RGB version of this fan. So that would be additional modular cables you would have to add. But yeah, that's the spacing like that. And then you just plug in the main feed cable, which is just a normal straight through cable that's nice and long. And there you go. I don't believe Silverstone says how many of these fans you could daisy chain. So that would probably be a limit of your fan header. So if you were running this in like a server board, like a super micro board, You could probably daisy chain more than 2 of these together. Yeah, I don't see. I'm just looking on their website real quick. But these only draw. Where's the current? Might be easier to read on the box. These only draw 0.3 amps, so there's server fans that can draw 1 amp easily. So I would imagine in server use you could daisy chain more than 2. But now I'm going to demonstrate how noisy these fans are, which at 100% speed they definitely are loud. They are rated for 38 dB, which isn't the quietest, but these are performance fans for heavy loads and radiator use. So I'm going to be, oops, I can't plug this in yet. I'm going to be quiet and show what the current ambient noise level is with just the power supply on. And we're sitting at 12 to 14 dB right now. Now, since this is directly connected, it will be running at full speed, which is going to be kind of loud, but I will just show how loud that is now. I can plug this in. And it looks like we're sitting around 28 dB. I had it a little too close at first. I don't know what the proper distance is. This isn't a very scientific test, but this is just kind of a way to at least show. Now let's do 2 of them at 100% speed. This is going to be a little bit trickier since these move a lot of air. Alright, this will be 2. Oh, I probably don't want to be that close to the phone. I'll move that over and then point them away so it's not. That should be okay, I think. Yeah, the cumulative effect of having 2 of them is a little bit louder. I think the phone positioning is not quite right either, though. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it kind of depends on distance. I should probably figure out how to more scientifically demonstrate noise levels. I'm sure it's really loud if I blow it straight at it. But that is at 100% speed too. Alrighty. But overall, it's a neat fan. Price is reasonable, and I think these would perform especially good for people that are running radiators, or if you're running servers and you need a lot of airflow, and definitely, you know, for high TDP loads as well. But yeah, I like them. I think the design is neat, and it makes me happy that this connector is actually something that's fairly standard. So, you know, if you accidentally lose that and you accidentally lose the power feed, you're not completely out of luck, because you can easily DIY something from just salvaging that connector off of a old video card that isn't worth anything. And it's also nice because it gives you a way to, if you want to do modding, you can easily mod these, versus like if it was a normal fan, you know, you'd have to cut this connector off and do some soldering and stuff. But I wouldn't be shocked if you could buy these connectors loose with the crimp pins and the appropriate crimping tool that goes with them. But yeah, pretty cool fans. So hopefully you found that interesting, and thanks for watching.